Hi everyone, welcome back to some more 3D printing. I'm Austin Flawalistic and today I'm going to show you the third and last planter of this collection. After Zelda and Pokemon, we were missing the most important video game franchise, which is Mario Bros. I'm not sure how many hours I've spent playing Super Mario games, but well, I started playing when I was 6, so I guess at least 4,000 hours. As with the Pokemon planter, sometimes a video game is represented by a main character like Ash or Super Mario, but also by an iconic item, and I think we can all agree that in the Mario franchise, the item is the question mark block. Well, it would also be really funny to make a Mario head planter, but as I was doing a voxel planter collection, I thought using a cubic shaped item was slightly better. I want to thank Innofill for providing me with some great filaments for all this planter collection. I've left a link in the description where you can find all the filaments and colors they offer, which are more than enough to make a lot of dual extrusion collections. Now let's move to Fusion 360 and I will show you how I designed this model. As this planter is part of a collection and we want to keep the same size and proportions, we are going to create a 14 cm cube and we are going to apply a 14 mm fillet. One small but very important detail with this model is that the bottom part doesn't really have a 14 mm fillet. In the Zelda planter, I noticed some people had some issues when printing it because the bottom fillet was too big, and FDM 3D printers don't get along very well with such big fillets. I decided to cut off the first 3 mm of the model and I added them to the top part. This way we still have a cube-shaped planter, but it's much easier to print as the maximum inclination in the model is around 45 degrees. Once we've optimized the model a little bit, we are going to create a 3 mm shell and we are going to insert on one of the faces a DXF design I already created in Adobe Illustrator. This design can also be made inserting a reference image and working with a sketch, but I wanted to experiment with some things on my own and I worked faster with Adobe Illustrator. What we are going to do with that sketch we just imported or created in Fusion 360 is to select the extrude option and we are going to extrude negatively to create a hole in the planter design. Then we are going to use again the extrude option, but this time we are going to extrude the design in two different directions. Backwards to fill the hole and forward to create the design we just imported. These new parts we just created may generate some unwanted issues when printing them if we don't use any support material. To fix this, we are going to apply a chamfer of the same length of the extrusion to all the edges. This way we are going to get a cool retro video game effect, and we are also going to avoid using any support material as the inclination is going to be again 45 degrees. As you can see, we've only created one side of the planter and we are going to use a tool available in Fusion 360 to repeat the process on each side. We are going to select the option Pattern on Path, and instead of creating a pattern using some bodies or faces from the design, we are going to use Features as our pattern object. We are going to select the different actions we want to repeat from the bottom part of the screen just in the design history bar. Then we just need to select the outer part of the planter and tell Fusion 360 that we want it to repeat the process 3 times, one on each remaining side. There is an awesome 3D creator called Renee that also did a Mario block bank, and she also used this Fusion 360 tool. I've left a link in the description and it's an awesome design. Going back to our planter, we are almost done now. We just need to make the bottom holes of the planter if it's going to be an exterior planter, and now it's ready to be exported and printed. This planter is a dual extrusion print, but as with my other designs, I've made a single extrusion version, and you can easily print it and paint it. I've left some links in the description where you can download this Super Mario planter and also the other two video game planters from this small planter collection, the Pokemon and the Zelda one. If you have any questions about this design or any other of the planters I did in this small collection, use the comment section below or Twitter. Also, if you made it this far, I will tell you a little secret as a compensation for your patience. In the next weeks, in 1 month approximately, I will share 2 or 3 more planter designs. I can tell you anything else about it except that they are from the same video game. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel and check my Patreon page. And also, huge thanks to all my supporters, especially the Patreon MVPs. I hope you enjoyed with this video game planter collection and see you next time.